James Kaufman, World News Report today. No King's Day. Follow the money. All right, folks. No Kings 2.0. It's time we find out who's organizing these highly organized protests and take out the people trying to ruin the American dream. And you're looking at a few of them. Most of them are funding through organizations like Arabella, Tides, and we're going to go over a few other ones. We've got here all of the regular folks here. Here's our old friend Mark Zuckerberg sitting next to Trump at the table, only to be funding through two of the foundations that have put together Riot Inc. Can you even imagine that Riot Inc. is a nonprofit fueled by these billionaires to destroy our democracy? And the Democrats absolutely love it. Bill Gates sitting at the table with Donald Trump. Donald Trump will never learn, will he? I don't know if he will or not. This guy is a Swiss billionaire. I'm not quite sure why he has so much, dog in the fight, if you will. And of course, George Soros, through Soros Foundation, is funding Riot Inc. directly. That's an easy one. Some of these other people, like Bill Gates and Zuckerberg, are funding through these other organizations, and I'll show you how that works right now. All right, we're going to break this down as much as we can. Several slides here. It looks like about $300 million or $294 million went to funding this No Kings 2.0 through a dark money operation named Riot Inc. Now that money was funneled to them through the Arabella network, $79.7 million, the Soros network, he needs to be taken down immediately, the Ford network, the Tides organization, Rockefeller, and Buffett. So we already know the players here, okay? We got them all. And like we said, Gates and Zuckerberg and a few others are funding their money through the Arabella network and through the Tides network, as I will show you. We'll go through the top five here. George Soros, under the Open Society Network, directly contributed $72 million to the official No Kings organizers and partners, Riot Inc. That was a direct contribution to Riot Inc., an NGO. Obviously, they should have their NGO status revoked, and this man should be arrested for treason. This is basically a color revolution being run by our deep state, just like we've run them all over the country, just like we ran one in 2020 during the election of 2020, just like when we took over the Ukraine in 2014, we ran a color revolution. It's exactly what they're doing. Same playbook, they're just not voting this week. This is the second No Kings protest. Biggest, contributor here, or one of the biggest, George Soros, number one. Number two, Mark Zuckerberg. You know, him sitting at Trump's White House dinner and us paying for his steak and lobster and his jet planes and hotel rooms for all of his security a month ago made me so angry. And now to find out he's helping to fund this, Trump should be furious. He should completely break up Meta as a monopoly and, get busy. So he funneled $50 million plus to Riot Inc. through Arabella and Tides. That's how he did it, okay? But they all went right into No Kings 2.0. And hey, he knows exactly where the money's going, so don't let him pretend like he doesn't. Who do we have here? Billionaire number 3, Hans-Georg Weiss, the Swiss-born mega-donor, is the largest foreign financier of the U.S. protest complex. $245 million from Weiss to the Arabella network, the operational hub behind No Kings 2.0. So he funded more of this than anyone. We have to find out what kind of dog he has in this fight. What's going on with this? Here we go, number 4, Bill Gates. Gates Foundation pumped $100 million plus into that same Arabella and Tides and Ford infrastructure funding. This weekend's global protests. That's right. So he actually helped by funding 3 of the organizations that funded this. And hey, that's just one entity between the actual funding of Riot Inc. and Bill Gates. He also sat at the table eating taxpayers' filet mignon and lobster, and we actually paid for all of his hotel rooms and security hotel rooms and his plane trips, his gas, etc., to go visit the president. President Trump should be ashamed of himself to put these people at the table with him. I want everyone to know, Bill Gates, number 4. Things y'all don't know about Bill Gates: he has arrest warrants in several countries waiting on him, and, well, several other countries have pulled his amnesty, and he had a huge civil case in the Netherlands, although he has a criminal case coming up. And the Netherlands, the government, imprisoned the people suing him until the case defaulted. That's a true story. The Netherlands. Remember that. Billionaire number 5, Mark Benioff. Salesforce Billionaire Fund added $20 million to the mix, making the $294 million from billionaire-backed networks fueling the billionaires' protest. I mean, is this go billionaires or no kings? Obviously. What dog does Salesforce.com have in this fight? They should, want jobs and want to create a better economy. I can't figure out what someone like this has in this fight. I can't figure out what almost any of these people have in this fight, to tell you the truth, except for their liberal leftist mindset that in some way is a health issue. Anyone that tells you that this is a grassroots protest is full of bull, period. All the signs are pre-made. Everyone's wearing yellow or will be wearing yellow. They actually had a meeting to decide what color to make this color revolution, and it turned out to be yellow. All these billionaires funded it, and it all went through Riot Inc. Everyone at Riot Inc. needs to be arrested, and these billionaires, I think they need to be arrested as well. Here is the report given to POTUS, President Trump, about the funding of the Snow Kings. You know, he should be disgusted with himself for sitting at the table with Zuckerberg on one side and Bill Gates on the other side. Well, they were 2 of the largest contributors to his downfall. This guy just doesn't know who to surround himself with, does he? Let's listen to his staff follow the money and explain to him that all of his buddies are the ones after him, as usual, or people that he wants to be buddies with, I guess, more so.
That this is not just a story about violence and chaos, as you alluded to, Mr. President. This is a money story And at the Government Accountability Institute, my colleague and I, Peter Schweitzer and our team, we followed the money, and we followed it to the top of what we call the protest industrial complex, Riot Inc. And we found a network of NGOs. It's not just the Soros network, the Open Society network, it's other funding networks, the Arabella funding network, the Tides funding network, Neville Roy Singham and his network, Foreign Cash. And it's also big left-wing funders. Some of them are not citizens of this country. Mr. Hans-Jörg Wyss of Switzerland. They're pouring money into this entire ecosystem. And so I want to share 3 money facts with you about what we call Riot Inc. Number one, like any corporation, Riot Inc. has many divisions. It doesn't just have the Antifa boots on the ground division. It has PR divisions. It has marketing divisions. It has a very well-funded legal division to get these boots on the ground back on the streets as quickly as possible. But it does have those investors that I mentioned. Number two, we have identified dozens of radical organizations, not just the decentralized Antifa organizations, but dozens of radical organizations that have received more than $100 million from the Riot Inc. investors. These would be the lawyer groups. These would be the groups that advocate for calling good, honest Americans fascists, etc. And then 3, I think the most shocking thing is that we have found that more than $100 million in U.S. taxpayer funding has flowed into these funding networks, including at least $4 million to these very groups themselves, not just Antifa types, but there was an event in Atlanta called Stop Cop City. Over 60 rioters were charged with domestic terrorism. These groups received money for that from both the billionaire class as well as taxpayer money. So one other thing, this money helps fund the decentralized crowdfunding platforms. These are ways that Antifa, the John Brown Gun Club of Elm Fork, which had links to that attack on the ICE facility, the Socialist Rifle Association, and just because they don't have LLCs or EIN numbers doesn't mean they can't get paid. Some of these funding platforms, crowdfunding platforms, are funded by this network that we call Riot Inc. So, again, I want to thank you for your leadership, for the whole cabinet's leadership on this. We're going to keep following the money and appreciate everything you're doing, sir.
Do you know the name of any of the funders? Do you know the names? Because if you do, I'd like you to give them to Cash or Pam.
Absolutely.
Or Christy.
Yeah, we'll do that.
As soon as you can. That's all of you. Because you probably know the names after a certain period of time. You tend to find out. But these are people that do not have good intention for the country, and that's treasonous probably. So if you could, very important, if you could do that, it would be great.
They're all your buddies that you had for dinner the other night. And one sat on the right of you, the other sat on the left of you. That's who the names are. You spent our money on their dinner after everything they've done to this country. Both of them. Nothing's ever been done to Meta. Nothing's ever been done to Gates. Not to mention the plethora of others involved. The whole thing is, well, I think that you're up to it in your eyebrows personally. But I'll keep my opinion to myself while we continue. Where did the money that the U.S. taxpayers pitched in come from? Well, in Atlanta, it came from the USAID. But now any monies that are leaving, they're coming straight from the State Department. Even more disgusting, Eric Swalwell. Yes, a actual representative in the House here in the United States. He's made his own swag, and he's selling it through his own website. And he's been doing it for weeks. He's got all kind of merchandise he's selling. Well, why not do something while the government's closed, right? He's got the dates. He's got the gear. No King's Days, just a couple of weeks away. I've partnered, and I'm a merch seller now. This is his website. It's just disgusting. Disgusting. Eric Swalwell, should be lined up, and, well, you know how I feel about just about any of these politicians that would even think about something like this. Now, we've all been told that the USAID is no longer in business, but they actually have organizers out here with USAID shirts on, passing out pamphlets, and this is from today. Trust me, the 18th October, right there behind him. This is Mike Bentz out there. He can't believe that the USAID, with shirts on, are out there passing out pamphlets. Now, they might have funded this a year ago. I don't know. But obviously, this person is working directly for your tax dollars right there. You see him? He's the one passing out all the instructions to people right there. Your tax dollars at work. So you can add yourself as one of the biggest contributors. He's bitching about USAID. So I guess they didn't clean shit up as usual. They said they closed the entire thing down. It all runs through the State Department. All that means, well, I could tell you about Rubio for hours. How disgusting of a young man he was. Disgusting. All right, folks, there you have it. All the funders of what's going on around the U.S. today and tomorrow. No Kings Weekend, no King's Day. There you have it. Follow the money. What are you going to do about it, Trump? The two people you had sit next to you in Melania 2-3 weeks ago at the White House, you served them filet mignon and lobster, paid for their hotel rooms and their planes and their expenses and their security, etc. with our money. We've had it, period. God bless. Share, subscribe, and always remember, anything's possible. Bizarro world.